crime. Lots of wrestling, silly bits too. Having a blast bringing our show to you. They rant, they rave, they won't behave. Wrestling fans, come out your cave. It's time to BS and misbehave. Talking wrestling, time to go. Ring the bell and start the show.
Hello and welcome in for another edition of Talking Rasslin with Pondwater and Amy, who can't hear us and can't talk to us. This is her rib. This is several weeks in a row of technical difficulties by the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club. I love it. She can't hear us and she's not talking. She's muted. Let's have a little fun with her. Now she's unmuted, but she's not talking. She can't hear us. Now she's gone. With that being said, though, let's have a little fun. We got a guest tonight. We're going to have just coming off the biggest weekend of the year. Let's bring him in.
He is the T&A. He loves the Yankees. He hates Matt Rule. He is outspoken, and that is cool. His name is Andrew, and he's our guest. We're glad he's here. He is the best. Welcome to the show, Andrew.
Welcome to the show from the T&A Top Ten, Mr. Andrew Hermes. What's going on, Andrew?
Dave. Oh, that was really cute. I like it. And I do hate Matt Rule. Those are facts. I do have opinions, definitely facts. Yeah, here we are without Amy, the First Lady of the Arn Anderson
with Pondwater and Andrew.
Yes. So trivia, for those of you who don't know, I named Amy the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club years ago. And I was writing the show for Paul and Arn, and Paul read it out loud. And there you have it. So
that's where it came from, huh?
That's where it came from. Well, Aaron Lundy may dispute that Amy is the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, but Amy will forever claim it if she has internet and audio and visual at some point today.
Well, Andrew, let's start out hot. I got to. First, I'm going to welcome everybody in. Allison's with us. Terry's with us. Austin Kendrick's here. Willie Thornbrew, Matthew Elvis Presley. I want to thank y'all for joining us. Sorry we're running a little late.
You know who's responsible for that. I was on time.
I mean, they know. If you watch this regularly, you know that every week she don't come early and her shit don't work. I don't know. It's a cry for help or some shit. I got candles over here. I'm fixing to light a candle for her.
I've got 3 or 4 of them from her.
But I got to tell you that I was about as low as a wrestling fan could get. And after night 1, I just desperately needed night 2 to do something to rejuvenate me. Because I don't know what we're doing in professional wrestling. AEW's got a champion that's littler than me, that beat a man that went forever with Kenny Omega and kicked out of everything, but lost to a trust fall in a very short amount of time. I don't get it. And y'all are going to say, Dave, don't you start picking on AEW. I didn't like it when Rey Mysterio won the heavyweight championship. I really didn't. I mean, you just got to be big enough to ride this ride. And I mean, at least, like, at this point, I'm advocating for JD Dunna. I want JD McDonough to beat Cody. Put him on SmackDown Friday night. Let him beat him with 4 moonsaults. I mean, and you're going to say, well, why JD McDonough? He loses. Well, Darby does too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I want y'all to look at this picture. What's wrong with this picture? We're going to talk a little architecture. I mean, there's, you know, they always talk about we got 4 pillars. Well, there's the pillar that's the champion, and I don't know a whole lot about architecture, but that's a recipe for the roof to come caving down. This is not good. I'm not saying I mean, I don't know if he can wrestle. I don't know if he grabs a hold because he's always throwing himself out of the ring. I just don't understand this move. If you're going to take the title off of MJF, I mean, I just don't get it. You can't be the. Hey, I didn't like it when Tessa Blanchard beat Brian Cage either.
No, I have thoughts.
Sometimes you can't just say screw it on believability. And while we're talking about believability, let's talk about the Sandman. He's a legend, and he had his final match at the other night, and he wrestled the Invisible Man. What in the actual F is going on? I mean, we're just saying screw it. And then we got Joey Janela wrestling Brody Lee Jr. The kid's 14. You're putting over a 14-year-old. You're a grown-ass man. I don't care how good he wrestles. And I'm sure he probably works hard. He probably works harder than Joey Janela does. But you're going to tell me that a 14-year-old can beat a grown man? I mean, at this point, I'd like to tell all the promoters out there that I actually have a pair of wrestling boots and tights. And if you'd like to promote a 60-year-old man, I ain't losing. I ain't losing to nobody. But if you got like some big guys you want me to beat, and I don't wrestle any better than Darby Allin. I know a little bit. I ain't jumping out of the ring. I'm not doing suicide dives. But if you want to book a 60-year-old to beat one of your top athletes, because we're just saying screw professional wrestling at this point, it ain't like it used to be, then I'm your guy. I mean, maybe I'll just, because my whole gimmick is that I refereed Ric Flair's last match, I'm going to get me a robe. I'm going to get me a robe made, zebra striped robe. And I'm going to come out. I'm going to make all the promoters play music for me, and I get an introduction. Because if we're gonna boo-foo the wrestling business, then I might as well get on board. Either change or get left behind.
No. Yeah, adapt or die. So Dave has teed this up very, very nicely because as people who know me might imagine, I have some thoughts on Darby Allin becoming the world champion over the hottest heel in the company. There are no less than 8 people I would rather see be the AEW world champion than Darby Allin. And they start with MJF, and then it's Kenny Omega, and it's Swerve Strickland, and it's Hangman Adam Page, and it's Kyle Fletcher, and it's Takeshita, and it's Okada, and I probably could find 5 or 6 others that I didn't name. So there's that. Darby Allin is absolutely unbelievable. This is a feel-good moment. We're going to put him in the annals of AEW history by having him be a world champion, the same as they murdered Swerve's first run when they had Daniel Bryanson or Bryan Danielson, however you want to call him, Daniel Bryanson, whatever, beat Swerve for no good reason. We've got a little Ospreay and Omega action, which could save their summer event. Who knows? But I do not live in a world where I will accept Darby Allin as any sort of world champion and therefore will not participate in the shenanigans of AEW. I've already all but quit watching it, Dave. And I get that he's a pillar, but so is Jack Perry.
Yeah.
And I think Sammy Guevara, who, if you follow him on Instagram, was in Brazil this past week. So he's not going to make any television appearances anytime soon. The believability factor, the whole point of the suspension of disbelief is that you can actually believe that somebody could win. Now, if you catch him with a quick one or whatever, the old Patterson line, that's fine. But
or at least when David Arquette won the WCW title, all he had to do was reach and grab the belt. He didn't have to pin anybody. He took advantage of an opportunity like, oh, I'm the champ. Maybe with a ladder match, something on a pole. But the fact that you're going to squash the champion with a trust fall.
Yeah.
I understand he's immensely popular.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that I'm not in that demographic. And I am super, super duper proud that AEW is in business and that I have friends that work there that are making a living as professional wrestlers. God bless Tony Khan for having a revenue stream to take care of people and they can make a living in professional wrestling. I'm not disparaging that. I'm disparaging the booking because all I want to do is believe. And And there ain't nothing believable about that. I mean, we watched pay-per-view the other night, and I was bragging on Bryce Remsburg because he got out of the ring and he was trying to get him to get in the ring. And normally he'll just stand in there and watch. And I'm like, look at him. He's not letting them bury him tonight. He's out there with them. This is great. He's trying to get them in the ring. He's telling them you can't win championship on the floor. They're doing all of this. Then he gets in the ring, he counts to 3, and he quits counting. And then, I mean, if the Young Bucks match the other night would have been a Texas Tornado match, it would have been a great match for me. But I'm stuck on that we're standing there with all these guys in the ring, and we're doing nothing to get them out of the ring. You feel me?
Yeah.
I require my wrestling to be matches that are built within the framework of the rules. And I'm befuddled at that we've just got to this point where this is the new norm. I mean, I've had several times that I've refereed that I was going to screw up the finish if I didn't count it. But when did tag teams get to dogpile for a win in a non-Texas Tornado style match? I mean, it's become the new norm. What's going on television now, and it's not just AEW, WWE's getting just as bad about it. That now us indie referees, if we enforce the rules, we're confusing the crowd because they're now what they're seeing, because they take what they see on TV as the new norm. Anyway,
no, you're fine. I'm one of the reasons I'm paying attention to you is I'm also paying attention to Amy. I can hear her messing with those headphones. I can hear you messing with whatever plug you're messing with. I don't know what it was, but I could hear it.
Amy, can you hear this?
On water's barking at clouds again. Bark, old man, bark, old man.
It doesn't seem like it. No, she's looking, talk about befuddled. But no, with Darby Allin, and I mean, he's always been somewhere in the spot near the top, not on top, obviously, but near the top. He's been well featured. He was the guy they chose to pair with Sting. That's a decision. It was a decision then. It's a decision now. Sting making a special appearance here. And this is where, the rubber meets the road, so to speak, because as you know, Dave, because you work in it, this is still a business. Wade Keller reported, and I was in the live chat when Darby Allin won, that 28 or 900 people actually saw Darby Allin win that championship on a bad Monday night Raw WrestleMania night 1. 50,000 people were in the building.
Yeah.
So you can talk about it's competition or whatever. To your point, it's not competition. It's two companies inside the same industry that do completely different things. And I expect MJF to win the title back fairly quickly. To me, Darby Allin is not who you put on the marquee for All In Wembley. I don't buy that. I don't think that's
I think he'll lose it back. I mean, and that's in MJF's hometown. And I put up a poll. What do you think of Darby Allin as AEW champion? 1, I love it. 2, I hate it. Just type 1 or 2 in the chat to register your vote. We're playing with some polls tonight.
All of a sudden, I'm the guy from the show with Keanu Reeves and I'm Gary Busey from give me two Murtaugh or Utah. Give me 2. I hate it 100%. What the hell was a Point Break? Yeah, all of a sudden I'm Gary Busey before the motorcycle accident on Point Break. Give me 2.
Okay with it.
No.
This would be a great debate if you could join us, Amy. Talk.
I'm okay with it.
There you go.
Can you not hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
I don't know why. I know. I do not understand why it what's,
Can you hear us?
I don't know. It's some kind of default because I can hear you all.
Okay. Maybe
that's
next
good.
time you can show up a few minutes early and we can get all the bugs worked out.
I know that pesky job that I have is what keeps me out.
Yeah, and also the instructions were
But
to
there's
vote
hope.
either
There's
one
hope.
or two to vote. I am okay with it. Does not register on the poll.
Well, I feel like it's 1.5 then because I don't know. I don't
Explain
hate
yourself,
it,
lady.
but I don't love it.
Hold on, Dave. Dave, hold on. I got this. I'll take it from here for a second. Ms. First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, who watches the Minnesota Wrecking Crew win with a knee to the arm and the arm bar to finish for the tag team championships in 1986. I would like you to explain yourself why you think it's okay that Darby Allin is now a world champion in a wrestling promotion on this planet.
Now she's going to act like she can't hear again.
Okay. Well, no. Well, what I was going to say, yeah, really. What I say? I'm okay with it. That's a big difference between I love it and I hate it. I'm okay with it because I do like. For one, he's been a pillar. He's been in big matches. This is not like they're bringing, Kit Wilson is not the one who won the, heavyweight champion. He's been in very big matches, very big profile matches all through AEW. He's been there kind of since it started. I think they had a really good story. I mean, they showed he won. He was nervous. He knew this was a big deal. Sting, giving him kind of a little bit of a pep talk before he went out. He didn't do granted, he did 3 or 4 coffin drop, whatever he does. Like, it wasn't, and then Sting came out after he won. Like, I'm okay with this kind of arc. Do I feel like he's going to be a champion for multiple years? No. Do I feel like he's going to lose that championship probably pretty soon? I do. But I did like the presentation. Again, I could buy that. It wasn't like he was beating the Big Show or like someone that's like 3 times his size and 3 times the wrestler that he is. But
well, hey, I'm going to tell you. And kudos to Darby Allin, because normally when a guy his size wins the heavyweight championship, he either needs to be doing it in memory of somebody, or he owns the promotion and he makes himself the champion. Normally, that's the 2 things for undersized champions.
Yeah, you hit it. You hit it on the head and took the words out of my mouth.
I don't love it.
Without the death of Rey Mysterio, or without the death of Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio Jr. would have never been the champ. It's that simple. He was the surrogate.
Right.
So
he was the surrogate.
And
Eddie was, quote, small, and he slayed Brock Lesnar. But, Dave, don't jump on me, because I yell at clouds too. If you go back and watch that No Way Out match, obviously they have the Goldberg interference, but that was a masterclass in ring psychology and in David versus Goliath. And of course, Eddie wins the title by lying, cheating, and stealing his way to it. And why not? But that's a completely different set of things. The other thing is, Eddie Guerrero in his grave could wrestle circles around Darby Allin today. So, I mean, it's just a completely different thing. But that was a time when the little man beat the big man and it worked.
Yeah, and just some kind of gimmick match where you capture the belt. I mean, if you're going to do that, and then hanging on to it's a lot harder. Like I said, I know he's immensely popular. I know he is. And that brand is not for me. And I don't really want to. I mean, I don't want to spend our show crapping on it. It's just, it frustrates me because I've kind of been mad because what they were doing with Jeff Jarrett last year was working. Jeff was trying to get all he wanted was a title shot, and people were into it. And they were into it, and then he had a match with Cesaro and MJF interfered and he lost to Cesaro and it was over. And you're like, surely that because of that interference that Jeff's still going to keep trying to climb up, which eventually led to him getting a world title match and he would lose, which is no big deal. But no, it was dead. It was dead. And we ain't seen Jeff Jarrett again since then.
Damn shame.
It was working.
Damn shame, Dave. We ain't seen Jeff Jarrett since.
But
Damn
I'm saying it was people were behind him. They were with it.
People like you, elderlies, were with it. People like me that had go away heat with him 30 years ago, not with it. Not with it, with Mr. Jarrett. As great as his wrestling mind is, you talk about someone booking themselves because they own the territory. Although in all fairness, in T&A for a long time, he was the best wrestler there until AJ Styles came along. But, you know, it is what it is. Let me bring one more point because I think about wrestling differently than a lot of people. I think about it in a business sense. Darby Allin wins the world title the week of WrestleMania. It's not a coincidence. You know why? Because you are 21 minutes and 7 seconds into this show, and we are talking about Darby Allin.
Right.
Mission accomplished. AEW.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about. Let's talk about what was going on in Las Vegas before we get into the breaking down the card. Amy was in Las Vegas last week, and she got to do some pretty cool stuff.
Yes.
I got a text from Tony with Heritage Auctions that told me that he had quite a lengthy conversation with Amy, and I told him that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Amy.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead.
So tell us what was going on out there.
No, I was just saying it was fabulous. It was fabulous.
What was fabulous
Now
about
I
it?
can't hear y'all.
What was fabulous about it?
So first off, for some reason, I was thinking Heritage Auction was going to be at the WWE store or, World and not WrestleCon. So I thought I was going to miss it. Okay. Let me tell you what I have on right here. Okay. This is Macho Man's leather hat that he wore the last time he was on TNA. Okay. And that is his jacket that he wore, and it's signed by him. I will tell you all, my heart was pounding putting this on because Macho Man had also worn it. I was just, the things that they had. So you see this right behind me, that gold robe? That is Macho Man's robe, his first ever robe from 1978.
Wow.
These are up above, like there. Let's see. I think those are LA Knight boots. The first time he won the U.S. title, he has signed them. There's an Andre the Giant 8x10, like up in the corner. They had Stone Cold Steve Austin's leg brace. He had signed. They had is it the U.S. belt? What belt do they have, Dave?
It's the United States belt, the WCW United States belt that Sting and Rick Rude and Steve Austin.
Yes. They had that belt there.
Yeah.
The good
they
one.
Had.
Yeah.
Yes. They had
5-plater,
two
right?
shirts.
It's a 5-plater. Yeah. That 3
Sorry,
plater.
5-plater.
No, you're fine.
5-plater,
Nice.
much prettier belt, and that's what I know about the U.S. title.
A funny
Yes.
story about that, how that came to be listed, is that our friend Conrad's been bringing Tony on talking about collectibles because the Hogan boots went for $1 million. So they've been talking about the collectible market, and Conrad played the clip from the title belt series and showed him the U.S. title. So Tony told him, he said, yeah, that's probably 150 to 200,000. And Conrad said, and I will let y'all know that it will be listed and at WrestleCon. And I texted him and I said, did you plan on selling that or did you react? He goes, no, I heard $200,000 and I reacted.
Can't blame them for that. Had a couple of Macho Man outfits. They had boots signed by Hogan. There was but for someone who loves that kind of stuff, nostalgic and just museum kind of thing, like Heritage, like the fact that they had all that stuff right in there. We had a gentleman, while Tony and I were talking, we had a gentleman come up and was looking at stuff and was like, hey, I've got a signed Andre flyer that my uncle had that he gave me. And Tony started talking to him. He's like, this is how it happens. Like, you know, people they'll just say, hey, I've got this, or I got, you know, like different things like that. I had a great time. So I sat, that was probably the longest that I spent anywhere, was at that Heritage auction little area. And yes, there is the David Von Erich trunks. They are up for auction. I wish I could remember what some of the other stuff was. Oh, Pat Patterson's Hall of Fame ring is up for sale, up for auction. It's there. It was really, like I said, it was just super cool. I think the auction happens in May. Is that correct?
Yes.
I got it. Let me tell
Bidding is open now on these items, but the actual auction runs for 2 days.
This is, I don't know if you could kind of see it. This is the little booklet that they had over there, because they have Hulk Hogan's boots on the front. Let me see here. Oh, these are things. Okay, so this is a 1987 Randy Macho Man Savage worn robe used in the face-off with Mr. T and something I can't. You can kind of see it. It says it's sold for $48,000. So like some of the things in the book is just saying like what it was. Hulk Hogan worn and signed NWO boots in 5 matches, including Super Brawl versus Ric Flair, like how much they sold for. There's some cards, how much they sold for. I mean, it's just so wild. Like it's super, super cool. Like I said, I just
the U.S. title. Excited. The U.S. title hadn't sold yet. It's going to be in the May auction. But those are my trunks, and they're there, and they're not coming back. I mean, I'm hopefully going to get a big old check for them. So
and a 1099 at the end of the year.
Yeah. You'll take that, right?
It comes with the territory.
But like I said, it was just really cool. What did Tony tell you? I was jabbering.
You knew a lot about me, and you were real nice. Yeah. No, he said he had a great time talking to you.
He was. We had a great time. I mean, it was fun. It was fun. There is me. Okay, so this. Hold on. Let me tell you something. So this right here, if you could see it, this is my newest collectible. It is the Grappler and Gimmicks from, who is this from? Anyway, but it's Arn and it's Tully, as you can see. And so Tully had signed it, and then Arn signed it for me at WrestleCon. And so I went and I saw Tessa Blanchard, and I got my picture taken with her, and I got an autograph, and I showed her this, and she thought that was really cool. So this is my newest acquisition. And so she's very nice, and she was nice to talk to. And like I said, I told her about my new little thing. And so that was great. She was very nice, very nice.
Yeah, real professional wrestler you finally met. Good for you, Amy and Tessa Blanchard. The diamond.
There's me getting my hug from Mark Henry. I've been really wanting that for a long time. I also got my picture with him, but he gave me a big hug. And he, what?
You said you got your picture with him. I said, yeah, we're looking at it.
No, I mean, I got a regular picture, and then he hugged me, and I got to get that picture. And he does give great hugs. So I want that to be known. they have so many things at WrestleCon. Like it was really like anybody and everybody like was there. Like it's just all kinds of. I mean, it was huge. So
Yeah,
thoroughly enjoyed it.
Dave, question.
WrestleCon is really great. Michael, I think it's pronounced Bakigio. He owns High Spots.
Yes,
he does
yes.
WrestleCon. He does a really good job with that.
Yes, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
I have a question for Dave here.
Okay.
Did you get a cease and desist letter because of the restraining order from Arn Anderson to not show that photo, or did you just choose not to? Because there's a photo, of course, of her and Arn. Because God forbid he's in a room and she's nowhere nearby.
No, actually, the only picture I got with Arn is he's signing my action figure. I didn't get my picture with him this time.
I'm just wondering if the stalking case is going forward at this point.
She didn't send me the pictures, or I would have.
No, okay. I was gonna say, because if you left him off, now you're in real trouble.
No, but
audio.
I got to see his wife, and Smokey was there, and it was a good time. Like I said, it was I'd been there before. And there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, I should have, but I don't know why I didn't get my picture with him. I just got him signing the action figure.
Well, tell us about Bloodsport, and then we're going to get on to WrestleMania Night 1.
Okay, so I'd never been to Bloodsport before, and so after WrestleCon, because I had talked to Tony for so long, it was just about time for Bloodsport to start. So I just said, "What the heck? I'm going to buy a bracelet." And to get into like the rest of the matches for the night, there's, one was at 3, one was at 7, and then I think there was another one at midnight or whatever. I walk in, and apparently Conrad had seats. He didn't go. And so there were 3, 2 were occupied. And so later in the night, I did jump in one of his seats because my butt was hurting after sitting on the bleachers for so long. But Bloodsport was really, really interesting. So Zack Sabre Jr. was there. He wrestled. Pete Dunne, he wrestled. He looks completely different with his haircut, just so we all know. The best match of the night, bar none, was Natty versus Shayna Baszler. That was incredible. They are on Triller. I would definitely, it was Bloodsport 15. I would definitely recommend you watch that, especially the Shayna Baszler Natty match. It was phenomenal. When Josh Barnett came out, Josh Barnett came out, he wrestled the last match, and he announced that there would be no more Bloodsport, that it was going on a indefinite hiatus. So I don't really know what, the audience was definitely taken aback. Like they were definitely did not know that was going to happen. I enjoyed Bloodsport. I never knew. I mean, I could kind of tell when someone was getting ready to lose, they start pounding on their face basically, but it was incredible. It was really, really, I really did enjoy that. It was definitely different than what it was. It was almost kind of like you said, watching the Minnesota Wrecking Crew doing the moves. Obviously, if you haven't ever seen Bloodsport, there are no ropes. It is just the mat. So there is no high spots. There's none of that stuff. But what was really cool, Shayna had Natty on her shoulders, like fireman carry, like it almost like she was going to do like a fireman carry kind of thing. And they both, so Natty had a bunch of people out with her, like an entourage, I guess you could say. And all the people from the dungeon, like her husband and Danny Boy Smith, or Harry, whatever, I don't know what he goes
Harry
by.
Smith.
They came out with her and like walked back, and all these other people came out. So anyway, Shayna had her up like she was going to do a fireman's carry, and they catapulted them both out of the ring onto all those people. Like it was, like I said, I'm not for sure. Shayna's nose got busted somewhere in there. She had blood everywhere. It was all over Natty. It was all over Matt, it was crazy. And Natty was going to, she won by count out. I mean, she got in by 9 and Shayna didn't make it. And Natty was just going around the rings like, this is Natty, you know, like I'm a badass and this is me, this is who I am. So anyway, it was good.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
I did. I could not hang for Joey Janela's spring break bash or whatever it is that was coming on. I hadn't eaten. I was tired. And like I said, my younger self would have been very aggravated with me, but I did go home, got on my monorail and went home.
Yeah. As a reminder, it's only This Is Natty because she stole Ivy Niles' hairdo. And in no universe whatsoever should Shayna Baszler lose a blood sport match to Natty Neidhart, who would rather talk about her Uncle Brett than what a badass her dad was. So anyway, I take exception with that woman. The fact that Harry Smith is not signed to a major promotion
makes no sense.
Tells you about Harry Smith, Dave. He's clearly a problem. And if I came from the whiny ass Hart family, I probably wouldn't sign him either.
But see, have you ever met him?
Yeah. Briefly, and he was fine. Yeah, he was fine. Yeah.
Very respectful.
He's tall and he's built. I mean, I don't know.
He was very him and Lance had a very successful tag team in Japan.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but he is not currently signed with that look, that physique. He does have good in-ring ability. Clearly, he's a problem somehow. But the fact that WWE also let Shayna Baszler go is on them because they're stupid. That run she had as the Queen of Spades was fantastic. And then they shit the bed with her on the main roster. They didn't know what to do with her. And,
and I would love to.
And we're going to get there, but look at all of the players she could have matches with right now.
Right. I will definitely sign me up, Natty and Shayna Baszler Bloodsport match. Like that, like I said, that was the best match of the night. Like it was really, really good.
Yeah.
I would love to see it again. I mean, like I said, it was impressive. It was definitely good.
And go out of your way to on YouTube, search Power Slap. And this past week, Jack Swagger himself, made his Power Slap debut, and it was very impressive. Like, he didn't budge when he was getting slapped. Ooh. He's going to be very good at this.
But did they cure his lisp? That's what I want to know.
I don't think so.
He's an idiot. But that's my opinion.
Oh, I mean, yeah, he was impressive though. I mean, I'm not letting anybody slap me.
No.
But Sim Bodie books the talent for Power Slap, and he was explaining that not everybody has options when they leave a major promotion, and this is an opportunity that, you know, if they do, even if you lose, you make $5,000. So
right,
if you do this, you know, 2 or 3 times a month, you're racking up $5,000 a pop if you lost, $10,000 if you won.
Crazy though.
I'm not. Yeah, that Hollywood chick from the Wrestlers. She gets pissed slapped out of her regularly on there too.
Yeah, she is also on Wow. Is she on the Women of Wrestling? I think she does.
Think that they
she probably does a
use
little
her
bit of
because her mom works there too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sure they do a little bit of everything.
So let's. Oh man.
So don't mind me.
I don't know why I got kicked out of the studio when I went to go to unplug the refrigerator. So because it's making so much noise, but I lost all my
everything.
PDFs.
We're just.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
This is how we kicked off night 1 of WrestleMania. I don't know. This didn't really do a lot for me. I liked that ISO Speed got, you know, that they had to bring him back around.
Right.
He was the reluctant heel throughout all this. Logan turned on him. The cinematography of him jumping through Logan on the table I mean, this match didn't do a whole lot for me, but it seemed like it was a vehicle to put IShowSpeed back on the good side because he's an influencer. He really don't need to be hated.
Well, as an influencer, you got Logan Paul too. So and this was on the
regular. Well, this was
regular.
part of the pay-per-view, but they just showed it live on free ESPN.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. I mean, if you were just going through and you didn't know who anybody was, you might know who Logan Paul is and what's his iSpeed? What do you say?
IShowSpeed.
IShowSpeed. You may not know anybody else, but that's a great way to catch your eye, see what this is all about.
I wouldn't know who he is
watch.
if he hadn't been on wrestling, and he's currently on a bag of Doritos.
See, and I still, even though he was on wrestling, if I wouldn't know who he is. I don't know what he influences. I'm sure he's great at it. I'm just
got a hell of a YouTube channel.
I'm sure he does great. And so now, how many followers did he bring to the show? How many, I mean, that's what they're looking for. That's why they're bringing those. Can I say something that I thought was really weird? I mean, there's a lot of it that's really weird. I thought it was very strange. I think it might be the second night, though. Maybe I'll wait. Never mind. I'll wait.
Okay. But just so you know who he is, he's on YouTube and he's got 52.9 million followers.
Yeah,
what does he do? What is he influence?
His videos being put on over and over and over again.
But what is his video? Like, what is it? Is it just him eating? Is he like doing
he's a streamer, isn't he?
He's just a streamer.
Like he's playing video games and people are watching? Okay.
With IShowSpeed versus toy cars. He just streams and I mean, I'm just kind of going through it. It looks like he just puts out a lot of entertaining content, but he's got 52.9 million subscribers. So more power to him.
Good.
Yeah, our buddy in the chat who has a middle schooler says, bunch of stupid stuff, middle schoolers eat it up. So Terry has a middle schooler, so he would know. I don't have a middle schooler. I do have a thought on this match, though. What a waste of a WrestleMania opener. First of all, Logan Paul has no business in this match. He should have been wrestling Seth Rollins. I don't give a shit about Gunther and Rollins. Proof, the Usos are better as a team than they are separate. But LA Knight, can he retire yet? I'm just asking. You do the wrestling world a favor if you would go to AEW, mostly because I wouldn't see you ever again. So, it is what it is. But I absolutely, positively thought this was a shitty way to open night one of WrestleMania. You had so many better options, and this is the popcorn match. This isn't the match you start the show with. And
do you think this was a TKO ruling? Like, do you think that's TKO wanted it on, and that's why it's the first match because of the two influencers?
Yes and no. I mean, people like to do that, and
true.
I don't know that they just didn't have anything better for them to do.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely awful.
There's two very blatant thrown together matches.
This one is very thrown together because once Breaker went out, I was certain we were going to get Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. To me, that would have been the show stealer, with the exception of the main event of night two. That would have stolen the entire weekend, but they didn't put them together. And I think they probably could have. But IShowSpeed, good for him. Kids love him. WWE is still a wrestling product that does cater to children in many ways. Think yeet, as Dave just pointed out. But but again, the band is back together, and you may or may not talk about that at the end of the main event here, Dave. Show opener. This qualifies. That last match does not.
Yeah, this was a good match. Now, here's my problems with it. This is a lights out unsanctioned match. That normally takes place at the end of the night. I do like that they actually fought with things that were around the ring that should be under a wrestling ring. I don't think that it should have been called an unsanctioned. Maybe, I mean, you could have called it. This could have been a traditional Texas death match. But
Yeah.
but lights out, unsanctioned, and you even had Rudy Charles out there wearing a black shirt with no logos. So there wasn't even a sanctioned referee for it. They went to all this with no blood, by the way, getting hit with the toolbox. I apologize for the dogs crying.
Oh, poor little baby.
Okay, I got one grumbling over here because I ain't paying attention to him, and he's
Yeah,
a little
well-
bit bigger than those two you got carrying around there, Dave.
Yeah, well, I've done requested that the missus come in here and let them outside with her because they know she's home.
Oh, that's the problem. They know Mama's home. Mama Pondwater is home. So in my opinion, Drew McIntyre has been the best kingmaker WWE's had since COVID. He's
Right.
the guy before you wrestle the guy. You look at the match he had with Punk, make no mistake about it, CM Punk, or as I like to call him, Saudi Phil, has a very well-established wrestling career that runs 2 decades, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Saudi Phil, best matches up until the match with Roman were with McIntyre. You look at what he did with Cody, fantastic. And then, of course, we get one match with Jacob, which I'm a little disappointed at. And they really jumped the shark, going immediately to a lights out or whatever you want to call it. Also, the finish of this match, because I have a point about it later, moonsault through the table. You guys were there. Dave, you were refereeing. You may have refereed the match. The first time I saw Jacob Fatu was September of 22 at one
Wrestling
of the events in
Showcase.
Chicago, the Wrestling Showcase.
Yeah, I
50
refereed his
pounds-
match.
50 pounds ago, and that sumbitch could move then, and
Yeah.
he is even lighter on his feet now. Very believable. Great spot for him. Of course, he's going to rub elbows with the tribal chief soon enough. But they could have got more out of this psychologically, promo, action, validation. Drew McIntyre has been the guy to bring all sorts of stars, that sort of thing. And they should have let this run just a little bit longer. But instead, it looks like we may be rushing to get to Roman, as the dogs are rushing to get to Dave.
No kidding. I love it.
Dave doesn't seem to love it.
No, Dave's trying to do a podcast.
Well, what's wrong with a little technical difficulty, little canine uncooperation? You know, I mean, come on. My dog one time chewed up the camera cord or the power cord while we were in the middle of a recording. So, I mean, it happened.
So anyway, I mean, I think Drew's going away to film a movie, but
And that may be it, Jave. I'm just saying.
But
first of all, you could have swapped these 2 matches, and this could have opened WrestleMania.
this should have opened it. I think you'd generated a lot more excitement. I mean, I'm not going to wait till the end of the review to tell you that night 1 was a glorified Raw episode with really cool entrances. There was nothing on night 1 that couldn't have been done on Netflix.
I agree.
And it really
this
was.
right here. And I thought I didn't think that a 4-team tag team championship match, that was definitely trying to get everybody on the show. Now, I didn't know what they were going to do with Paige when she got back, but when I saw her come out, I knew who was winning this match.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like,
How long do we know how long Nikki's going to be out, or like what is this
Hopefully forever. Oh, did I say that out loud?
I was thinking it.
I was just saying, like I didn't know she hurt her ankle. I think I kind of I didn't know what
She's messed her foot up. She's messed her foot
There's
up.
no need for the Bellas to be on wrestling. We have women professional wrestlers now. We don't need divas, and we certainly don't need over-the-hill divas that can no longer work. And not when you have people like Julia, who did not even make an appearance on the WrestleMania card.
Right.
I am a little surprised that Paige came back to the WWE at all. The divorce was messy. She was pretty outspoken. You never say never in the wrestling business. I understand that. But she also was allegedly never to be cleared by WWE doctors again with a neck injury. So
there's a new sheriff in town.
yeah, all of a sudden
Mhm.
she's back. Just
Mhm.
kind of like when you go over to AEW and Christian gets cleared and Brian gets cleared and Paige gets cleared. All of a sudden, these folks are cleared that couldn't get cleared to continue wrestling in World Wrestling Entertainment. So anyway, I thought this match was fine. Obviously, they had Lexi take the pin for the finish for Paige. She didn't look terribly rusty to me. But this wasn't something I paid a great deal of attention to either. It did not have me in the same way the Roman and Punk match did.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and I liked that Lash and Nia came out dressed like Demolition. But I will admit that in the white Demolition gear, my very first thought was, "Oh, look, they're honoring Sid with Lord Humongous."
Yeah, they should have worn black. That was stupid.
But I get what they were doing, and it looked really cool. But I immediately thought Lord Humongous. But that's because I'm old.
I kind of thought Nikki and Brie would win the titles. The fact that they're both back and that they were in this match, they haven't held the tag titles. Like, I definitely saw that as a potential. I like Paige being back. Like, I hope she has a little bit of a longer wrestling career. I think she's really good.
She'll be a good tag team champion. I remember that she's really good in tag team situations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll just have to see. Oh, you hush, you dirty old man.
It's a new day. Yes,
it is.
Anywho.
Oh, anyway, I got a poll running in the chat now. You see it on the screen. How was WrestleMania Night 1? 1 has loved it, 2 is just okay, 3 has hated it, and 4 is a glorified Raw episode. All you got to do is put 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat if you'd like to vote on that. Let's move it right along. This one went just like I expected it to go.
Yep.
This was getting the belt off of AJ, back on Becky. This little program had ran its course.
Yeah, I heard you talk about it, and I thought about it after the fact and agreed, because you guys did the post show for here on Markout Moments. Sloppy. Very sloppy there at the end.
Yeah.
Very sloppy.
Oh, I got notes. What am I doing?
So when I'm just saying when they got to, you were right. She didn't eat the buckle,
Yeah, she didn't eat the buckle. At least production didn't show it on the replay that she didn't eat the buckle.
We are audibly calling the spots in the ring. That's a problem. Or visually. Yeah, I mean, you could see them calling the spots. Not good. I don't believe Becky Lynch is as good as she thinks she is anymore. Amy, it's the same way I feel about FTR. They were so good for so long, and then they got lazy, and they're no longer as good as they used to be. And Becky Lynch, in fairness, Dave, the man presentation paired with her hitting her stride at just the right time, I mean, that was lightning in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not disparaging the fact she can't work. I just don't think she's as good as she thinks she is any longer.
Well, no, but I'm going to tell you what, though. But her mic work and her interviews are better than they've ever been.
Well, that's because she's imitating Trump.
But it's working.
I saw this breakdown. She is actually channeling like a Trump promo while she's talking when she's talking to her opponents.
Yeah,
which is hysterical. It's absolutely
it's as entertaining as she's ever been to me, because I've never really been on the Becky Lynch bandwagon.
Now Terry's going to unsubscribe to this channel if you keep up that nonsense about his redneck. Right? He loves him some Becky Lynch, and I don't get it. There's a lot better women wrestlers out there, but AJ was one of them at one point.
Yeah, let's talk about her husband.
Do we have to? He lost. That sucks.
But I liked that Braun Breaker. It wasn't a clean loss, but Gunther took care of his business. I mean, Gunther's a killer.
I feel like Gunther's one of those that, like, they don't know what to do with either. Like, this was like in the last few weeks. I don't know. I mean, I think I think Gunther should be doing more. I guess maybe I don't know. We'll just have to see.
He's ending people. I mean,
well, but this just kind of got thrown together. Like it wasn't like now Gunther was like a
no,
higher
this is
henchman.
storytelling, and we'll get to it with night 2 because Paul Heyman owes him a favor because he didn't have anybody else, and he got Gunther. He owes Gunther a favor because everybody else, they were dropping like flies around him.
Right. Okay. Well,
Were
I'll
we
let
doing
it
the
play
in
out.
living? Were you doing the in living color critics earlier? Hated it. Absolutely hated it. I hated the story getting there. I actually really enjoy Rollins and Gunther working together. They need to quit with that shitty ass sleeper hold though, because it is absolute trash. After the parent company of this organization revealed what's called a rear naked choke to us for the last 25 years, you would think that they would be able to get Gunther to put a better sleeper hold on. Or here's a thought: don't do it. The spear by Braun Breaker had the opportunity to be one of those video highlight package you never forget. It's the Hogan slamming Andre sort of thing. And he shit the bed. Seth took a sideways. He deliberately missed. I know that, Dave. He would have killed him.
Yeah, Seth jumped. I think Seth cowered a little bit on that.
Yeah. I think
he
they
wasn't
agreed
feeling
to
real
something,
good about getting
and
hurt
at the end
again.
of it, someone changed their mind just a little bit after they'd agreed to attack. But like Braun Breaker coming out attacking Seth Rollins leads to the Monday angle. We're finally back with their whole thing. Now we're waiting on Bronson Reed to show back up. Unfortunately, all the potential in the world, but he can't stay healthy. And but Seth Rollins does not put on bad wrestling matches. You say the same thing about Gunther. They do not put on bad wrestling matches. They will wrestle like AJ Styles wrestled for as long as they want to wrestle. And quite frankly, AJ Styles at his age, I know, Dave, it's only a number because you're an elderly, and we do not discriminate against old people around here, but is better than 95% of the locker room. AJ Styles at his age.
Oh yeah, still
with his injuries, with the history of the different injuries, he is exceptional. These two, 5 years from now, will still be 95% better than the rest of the WWE locker room. Yeah, and it won't be close.
Well, I think that AJ fell victim to budget cuts. I think that his contract came up, and they're like, "No, we're good. You don't have to stay." And I think that we're going to see that more and more. They're going to. I mean, everything's a fixed cost now. So the only thing, like most major corporations, they like take Dollar General. The only expense they can control is their labor. So that's why there's never anybody in those stores.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're serving shareholders, they're going to continue to cut these. They're going to continue to cut these salaries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, each decision is going to be who do we not want to send to AEW?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think it was a good match. I think it could have had an amazing finish. They kind of screwed it up, but it was one of the highlights of night 1.
Yeah. This match was a travesty. 7 minutes. There was more focused on Liv's new song. The fact that they got 7 minutes is just, it's a joke. They shit the bed with this. This match had so much potential. And I still think that Dom should have turned on Liv and went with Stephanie. Stephanie retained. She's cutting promos in Spanish. Dom's translating it how he wants to translate it. And I think that would have been such a good way to go because everybody wants to love Liv. But it seems like she's doubled down on being bad and just being a real bitch because she was a real bitch to Saul Ruka on Raw. I mean, she's going into being obnoxious. I mean, she's turned obnoxious up another level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like to me watching the Liv Morgan thing, like when she finally won, was it the Rumble? Yeah, she won the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Because she'd been the runner-up the last couple years, and she finally wins it. The fans jumped right on it. They didn't boo her for winning the Royal Rumble. They were elated she won the Royal Rumble. Celebrated with her winning the Royal Rumble. Now, granted, this Royal Rumble was in Saudi, So that may have had something to do with it, but I don't think so necessarily. Just because it takes place in a foreign country doesn't mean they don't understand the stories going on television or the history. Stephanie Valkyr is one of the brightest stars in the women's division.
Yes.
And Liv is a great chessmate to her, great foil to her, rather. They certainly can have good matches. Sol Ruka held her own the other night against Liv.
Hopefully, Sol Ruka's okay because she took a bad bump last night
Yeah.
on NXT. She went through 2 tables, but she went through one of them and her head caught the other one. And they say that there was a pool of blood under her when she got up.
Oh,
Yeah, she's been incredible in NXT. I almost said AEW, but she's been incredible in NXT.
Hopefully,
I really don't care for
her head injury is not too severe.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. But the match, to your point, you give women 7 minutes that could go 27 minutes.
Yeah. Now,
But we're gonna yeet for 18 minutes on the way to the ring. And I'm sure somewhere somebody's got the stats on wrestling versus commercials versus promos versus entrances.
right.
Because I saw a lot of it. But this is the Super Bowl of WWE's wrestling.
hey, and let me circle back to one note that I'd made about Seth and Gunther.
Mhm.
You know, they
Yeah.
fought outside the ring. They were fighting outside the ring, and then chairs were used.
No
And
count.
immediately I
What do you
thought,
do?
why are we not disqualifying them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then they got in the ring and the bell rung. I'm like, oh, the match hadn't started. But then Wade Barrett pointed out that that's why the chairs didn't cause a disqualification because the match hadn't started. So they did it where it made sense to use chairs, but then the announcer re-emphasized it to the crowd that this is why. I mean, to the people watching. And I just thought that was sometimes it's the little things, and WWE did a great job on that.
Wade Barrett is a good announcer too.
Mhm. Nice
I
to
mean,
look at.
He picks up the cues and he knows what he's talking about. He plays his role very, very well in that semi-heel commentator. But he's also, to Amy's point, other than nice to look at, a former professional wrestler whose career was cut short. So
I think the Boston Crab would be real good, Darren. I think he could.
Yeah.
I think a Boston Crab with Gunther would be. I think he could sell the intensity of it, and I think that might be a good move for him.
yeah, go ahead and get rid of the sleeper, though. That's stupid.
Well, I wish that they make him wake them up like they used to in the old days.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
rub their
Remember how they
shoulders,
used to have to do that, and they hit them on the neck, and they'd wake up.
and they'd be all like, oh. That was great.
Oh, those were the days.
Those were the days. I am pretty sure, Andrew, I don't have the exact numbers, but there was just as many commercial minutes as there was wrestling.
But let's
minutes.
talk about that.
Go ahead, because I have thoughts on this.
Okay, I don't have a problem with the commercials. I like if I was in the arena having that kind of time between matches where I could go like, oh my God, Brock retired. I'm gonna run to the souvenir stand and see if I can get a souvenir for this day. Or oh my God, that looked good. I'm going to the concession stand and I'm gonna, I got time. Or oh my God, that thing I got from the concession stand just played hell with my stomach. I got to go to the can. What I'm saying is you got a little time to do these things if you're in the arena, and they so they're taking care of their revenue streams with the vendors, and that's fine if you're in there. Because when I was a kid, I'd go to Sportatorium, and World Class used to have about 10 minutes in between each match. Until I went to my first WWF show in '84 with Hulk Hogan and the Iron Sheik as the main event, by the way. I'd never been to wrestling matches where one match came out right after the other. My problem is that these matches did not have to be so rushed and short. If this show would have gone 5 hours, so be it. We started early enough. If the wrestling is good, the length of the show doesn't matter. You got to get we understand in this day and age, because we're not paying $59, $69 to watch this anymore.
Right.
So you got to let them make their money back. Now, next year, ESPN ought to offer a full pay-per-view option. Like you could order it pay $50 to watch it commercial free. But then in between the matches where the commercials should be, have some exclusive content, because I understand the people that were watching it overseas on Netflix were getting the Hogan documentary, and they were having like things to them that weren't commercials. So maybe that's an option, and it's another revenue stream for ESPN to try to recoup what they put into this thing for people that want to cry about the commercials. I understand it, but you can't have commercials at the expense of the product on the grandest stage of them all.
That's right.
And this match is the prime example that this could have been a banger, and it wasn't. It just absolutely wasn't.
Speaking of banger, because this is what I do on our show. The Yankees are up 4-1 over Boston right now with 1 out left in the bottom of the ninth. Max Fried, the ace. Thank you, Terry. Thank you to the Atlanta Braves. Max Fried went 8 innings, no runs. So they're back. Anyway, yeah. On the topic of the commercials, it's a business. They got to pay for it somehow. I don't care about the sponsorships. I don't care about the commercials. What matters to me most is when we get out of commercial and into this match right here, and you have better built it and told the story properly. But then they got that guy over there on the right and messed it up. So anyway, Dave, Amy.
Yeah, it's just, and the other night when I saw that we were going to the main event, I was like, oh shit, are we at the main event already? I actually had to go pull this PDF and start clicking through it. Like, and like, oh damn, nothing's missing. We're at the main event already. And hey, I want to point out about Terry. Terry got up to go pee, and when he came back to his section at AEW, everybody in the section was wearing a Sting mask except for him, because he wasn't there to get one. Sting looked at him like he was so disappointed, but he was wearing a Talking Rasslin with Pondwater Dave shirt. So roll tide.
Where can you get that, Dave? Tell us where you can get that.
Jumpinthepond.com.
That's right.
Jumpinthepond.com. I don't have a QR, but right now you can get 10% off our already low priced shirts. We're not getting t-shirts, people.
Well made shirts too. They feel good.
Anyway, but I will say that when this match happened, shout out to JD Hoop for Cody's gear.
100%. It was very yes.
I like that Jelly Roll came and took Pat out early, and they got the fluff out of there. They got the fluff out of there, and then they went to have their match. I think Cody was working more like a heel than Randy was, honestly.
Up until the finish. And anytime you kick Cody Rhodes in the head, you're not a heel. There's a reason I call him Chody. If you don't know what Chody is, consult UrbanDictionary.com. But he's the type of person that if he could perform oral sex on himself, he would. And then he'd go tell Brandy what she did wrong the last time she did it for him. So, anyway.
That's coming in hot.
It's coming in hot. Cody Rhodes is not now, will never be the American dream. No matter how hard he tries, he will never, ever, ever, ever surpass the legacy of his father. And I don't give a shit he's the world champion in WWE or not. Dusty was bigger than the belt. He was almost bigger than the business, similarly to a Hogan thing. And this clown right here, I could care less if he's the world champion. I'd have rather seen Orton wrestle McIntyre than have to watch Cody Rhodes.
I was disappointed. I was disappointed when they put the belt back on Cody, because I wanted to see Orton and McIntyre, and I wanted to see McIntyre defend it successfully. But now I like Cody. I'm not down on Cody like Andrew is. I like Cody, but I wanted Randy to win.
I'm tired
of Randy to win.
It's not that I'm down on Cody. I'm tired of Cody. The same old tired act.
If he would cut promos,
I'm tired of.
He cut one promo where he was pissed. It's the one where he's talking about and then fire me, because you see how that worked out. He sounded so genuine, but most of the time that he's talking, like I don't feel it. with his
It's
monotone.
scripted. I mean, he's just.
But when he can cut a promo and he really sounded like he was pissed, I would love to see a heel Cody Rhodes, and I think he would be more interesting. But so I know he's got it in him, and I really genuinely like Cody Rhodes. I wanted Randy to win, and I thought when Pat McAfee came running out with the neck brace and the referee shirt, it popped me. I thought it was a little strange that he had a referee shirt. So, but then when Randy RKO's him, and I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing, people? And then he goes berserk and he hits Cody, and then he kicks him in the eye, but I don't even think we're going to get an explanation about why he turned on Pat, because I'm thinking the only reasonable one is that he just snapped and went off on everybody.
Right.
I don't think McAfee's coming back.
Well, he said he wouldn't. Right. I mean, he said he wouldn't come back if Randy Orton loses. I mean, that was like
was done too. And
I think Cody is better when he chases. I don't really think I would have liked to have seen Randy win and just kind of see what that world champion, run would look like. I don't know if things got really muddled, because obviously no one had Pat McAfee as the voice on the phone kind of thing. And I think that was again, I feel like you hear a lot of the dirt sheets saying that was a TKO move.
Well, Mark Shapiro confirmed it. Shapiro, talking at the University of Alabama, confirmed that they do have creative control, and this is 3 WrestleManias in a row that they've inserted it.
Right.
But then Monday, and I don't know about y'all, but Monday night when Cody came out and interrupted CM Punk, I honestly felt like Cody was, I can't believe they're making me do this. Whenever you're ready, Punk. I mean, he felt so detached, like, we're really doing this.
Right.
I mean, I felt like he had his ass on his shoulders Monday night.
And I do feel bad for Pat McAfee in the sense that, he didn't ask to be put in this role. He was doing the best he could with it. They paid him a lot of money, or what,
he worked his ass off,
and he definitely was not what people wanted, or I don't think he was anyway.
It wasn't necessary for this story.
It wasn't a great, I don't know. I don't think it was too convoluted maybe with all with Jelly Roll and Pat McAfee, and he's the voice, and I don't know. It was definitely, I thought it was a little bit of a disappointment. I would say.
The never ever stipulation needs to get the hell out of wrestling too. I'm never going to wrestle for the title again. I'm never going to show up on TV, and I'm never going to get the out of here with that. I'll show you I'm never, Chody. Anyway, I think we won when he kicked him in the face so hard he broke his eye bone. But then again, I almost feel bad for the guy because that does hurt.
It looked brutal.
Man, I think Cody does that on purpose.
Was it the belt or was it the kick? Do we know for sure that what broke the orbital?
I'm gonna tell you what. I think that Randy was working safe. I'm not sure that Cody doesn't lean in on those kind of things. And
because he gets a damn black eye all the time.
I think he does it on purpose.
Yeah,
because I don't know. He wears it like a badge of honor. But to me, when you show like Liv Morgan with the goose egg on her head,
bless her.
To me, that tells me that you need to learn how to work, kid. It's not supposed to hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, Ricky Steamboat got his face rubbed on the concrete, but then they go back out backstage and Harley Race hits him in the eye and then takes some sandpaper and rubs his head up. I mean, they didn't do it for real,
right?
But they made it look like they did because that made money. And I think that, to me, you ain't cool with your black eye. I mean, come out with a Band-Aid on your head. That's what you need. It's a Band-Aid on your head.
Well, you know what?
You can't bust it open.
Right. I will say I can't remember who. He might have been fighting Seth Rollins when Cody came out when he had torn his pectoral muscle or
Well, that
whatever.
was stupid. Yeah.
But no,
But it
but
was-
I'm just saying he
It was
took
a
his,
Hell in a Cell. You're right, Amy.
okay, was it Seth Rollins? Where he
Yeah.
like
Seth
took
Rollins,
his
Hell in a Cell. Yeah.
he took his jacket off and it was like that visual was stunning. And it was just like, I don't know if he's like, I got that reaction with that. So now I don't know. But I mean,
Not because
That
the
was a-
bitch did it in AEW too. I'm telling you, Cody Rhodes is a dickhead in real life. He
Aw.
pretends to be somebody he's not. And when you are in the people business and the people of human psychology business, the way I am, yes, I'm a salesman, but it's all about people. It's knowing people. It's knowing where to take them, how far to take them, and when to stop before you lose it all together. So I think the dude is positively a jerk off and a heel in real life. I don't like him. He rubs elbows with the right people. He says the right things. He's a politician, and it's disgusting. Actually seeing him have the real passion Dave was talking about, if he'd get as fired up as I am about what happens in wrestling that involves him, then maybe people would believe it again.
Yeah.
very true.
but,
Very true.
You know, he doesn't.
50,816 in attendance was what was announced. And I will say that the one thing that impressed me the most about night one is the camera work was incredible. Even when Liv got introduced, when Stephanie got introduced, how they would blur Liv's in the corner, or they had everybody in the ring in good focus and they blurred the crowd. I think that the cinematography for night one was probably the best cinematography I've ever seen WWE do, and I'll give them kudos for that. You know, that the camera work was incredible.
Well, straight up, the WWE is 40 years ahead of everybody in terms of television production.
But this,
There's Disney, and then there's the World Wrestling Entertainment, and that's about as good as it gets.
well, I was on the edge of the mountain ready to jump off, and this match is the one I was looking forward to the most out of everything that was announced. I wanted to see this so bad, and they did not disappoint. I will
That
go
was
so.
that's the way you open up WrestleMania.
Yes. I mean, this was perfect booking. Oba got in on him. Brock sold that he couldn't believe that he couldn't get him off his feet, and he got Brock off his feet, and Brock got out of the ring, and he had this look like, oh my God, what am I going to do? He looked concerned. And then he uses the ropes to pulls his head down, and then he starts putting his heat on him. Oba takes the F5, and he doesn't pop right back up. He sells it just a little bit and shakes it off. Hits that big power bomb on Brock to sit down. This match was perfectly booked. It was a perfect story. It was a nod to Oba. First thing I would do is I would not let Oba and Swerve on the same show. Not Swerve, Trick. Oba and Trick on I wouldn't put them on the same show because those two guys to me are the future. But I would never let this man lose. I'd send him straight to the top. As a matter of fact, when Roman's summer of fun is over, that's the man that needs to unseat him right there. And then who knew that Brock was going to retire? I kind of believe that he really retired. There's also part of me thinks that he may be wanting to squeeze him to come back for Gunther. It wouldn't be the first time that Brock screwed him.
Yeah, he's got the Ultimate Warrior in him.
Because, they torpedoed the Goldberg match because he said, I'm going to go play in the NFL. So you knew Brock was leaving. You knew Goldberg was leaving. It's a horrible match. So it would be like Brock to go ahead and retire and not wait till SummerSlam for Gunther. Now, I think the part of me thinks it's a work is that Paul Heyman owes Gunther a favor. And I can see Gunther talking about, well, it's a good thing that your boy went ahead and retired because he never fought me. because I would have sent him into retirement. I think that Gunther's going to goad him out. I think there's a Gunther Brock match coming. But if Brock really retired and it's over, I'm not surprised. And I think it is the perfect way to button up his career.
I would be very disappointed if Brock Lesnar comes back because he got an ovation. People were very appreciative of him. Like, I feel like he really got his flowers when he took off his gloves, took off his boots. He looked very emotional. Like, I will feel robbed of that if he comes back in 3 months for SummerSlam. Just saying.
Well, and to quote Wade Barrett, I've got some bad news for you, Amy. WrestleMania is in Minneapolis, the hometown of Brock Lesnar, where it all started and it all began, or SummerSlam, excuse me. And SummerSlam 2002, as you might remember, is where he defeated The Rock, picking him right out of the air and hitting him with that F5 you were all talking about. This match, I am in the Obafemi business. This man looks like a star. He acts like a star. He wrestles like a star. There is a magnetism and old school. I don't give a shit about the dance, Dave. I like it. The personality comes through the screen. And then when that bell rings, it's good. This is the type of passing of the torch that you would hope would have gone on without the spectacle there at the end. Just a personal opinion. Then they played the I Stand Alone video with Brock Lesnar from the week before or the next night on Raw. And of course,
Brock didn't take anything away from it, though. I mean, there was no idea this was coming, so he didn't take anything away from Obafemi.
I think he did.
Doing that.
I think he did.
Do you really?
Because the focus became Brock Lesnar, not Obafemi. If you're trying to get this guy over, Brock Lesnar is over. I would bet every dollar and every cent in my bank account that Brock Lesnar could successfully wrestle a grizzly bear. I mean that. Like, I made the joke, and I'm dead serious about it, though. They paid Brock Lesnar $1 million to wrestle this match.
Mm-hmm.
I would not wrestle Brock Lesnar for $1 million, but I would wrestle Obafemi for $1 million. I would not wrestle Brock Lesnar. I watched Brock Lesnar potato the shit out of Braun Strowman in one of those matches. It was that 4-way or whatever, and Braun got a little too stiff with him, and he hit him back with those size 4 XXX gloves that he's got, or hands that he's got, damn sandwich boxes. But in my opinion, it takes away from him, because if you're making the star and passing the torch to the next big thing, the whole premise of this match is Paul Heyman's words in May of 2002, or April of 2002, when Lesnar debuts, the next big thing, the next big thing, the next big thing. Obafemi is supposed to be the next big thing. You just said he's the guy to take the title off Roman. So you think he's the next big thing.
Oh, I think he is.
Then you go ahead and you have Brock Lesnar take his boots off and his gloves off, and he throws the X and the whole thing. No. 5 days prior to this, Janelle Grant trial heats back up, or case heats back up. The accusations are all over the place again, after apparently they had been found unfounded the first time, or whatever the judge had said. But he is specifically named over and over and over and over again in the newest complaint. I don't believe in coincidence.
Yeah.
Also, don't believe that Brock Lesnar has a great relationship with TKO. He walked out on UFC, the same as he walked out on WWE, which means he walked out on every power broker inside the TKO organization at one point or another, be that Dana White or Paul Levesque. So I think they could have done without the Brock Lesnar retirement. And then to throw a video package to Godsmack's I Stand Alone from 2000 whatever came out, and it was probably 2002, because that's when Lesnar debuted in WWE. Followed this man since he was an All-American wrestler at the University of Minnesota. Certified badass. Unfortunately, he could have a tainted legacy because of the legal. Dave, you have a thought.
You think we might see him in Real American Freestyle?
You could. And it would make sense. Heavyweight champion, 105.
It's the only one. I mean, he already conquered UFC. He's conquered WWE, and I bet you he could get in there and still wrestle.
Go ahead and let him get in that power slap contest. I don't think anybody would step up to him.
I
No
think everybody
kidding.
would be scared to slap him.
I
Let's
will
keep this
say
moving.
the Superstore, there was not any Oba Femi shirts. They had the necklace, but they did not have any shirts.
Yeah, there was lots of superstars that didn't have merch in the store. I mean, Sid's son got upset that Sid didn't have any merch there, but a lot of
I don't
people
remember
a
seeing a
lot of
shirt
current
there.
superstars didn't have merch there.
Yeah,
Uh,
Charlotte didn't. I
We
remember seeing
had a
it.
ladder match, and we knew that it was going to be a beautiful train wreck, which didn't
Oh.
disappoint.
Yeah.
Rusev took that cutter off the ladder. I think it looked bad because I thought Rusev. The cutter looked good, but you can see Rusev come off the ladder to take it. There was no reason for Rusev to
lean that much.
Into it. Heck, you could have just leaned back and he would have fell to the mat. So I'm going to be that guy and say that the finish sucked. I mean, but Penta hangs on to it. I don't think that's a bad. I would have liked seeing Javon Evans get it as a feel-good moment, and then you could have had them, and he didn't have to keep it like Zack Ryder winning the title 10 years ago on a ladder match. Man, JD McDonough is a bumping machine, though. Good Lord, that guy takes some crazy bumps.
There was some definite Canadian destroyers on the ladder, and just like, oh my gosh.
The first hour on ESPN was a success on Night 2.
Definitely.
We're off to the races. And I got to admit that Night 2 was so good that I didn't notice how long the commercials were.
Night 2 definitely was much better than Night 1.
We knew what this piece of business was.
Yes.
This was the crowning of Trick. I would have been okay with Carmelo if he would have took it off Carmelo. I think it would have been a much better match. I don't know what you do with Sammy now. Maybe put him under a mask as El Generico and put him out there with the Americanos.
Oh, different.
Yeah, he's lost the connection again. This is almost like when he did the Castro Sammy, and it actually got over and it worked. But like fans started booing babyface Sami Zayn, so they turned him into, and you could tell it was a Vince idea. They made him Fidel Castro.
Right.
And then that actually got over because Sami Zayn is a good worker in terms of character and whatnot. He's a good worker in the ring too. But
Allison says bring KO back and pair him again. I'd like to see if the bloodline is going to be a thing this time and it's more laid back. I wouldn't mind seeing. I thought he was very entertaining with the bloodline.
Yeah, he was.
He was the element that made it different. You know, you've got the action, they've got the titles, they've got the greatest manager in the history of professional wrestling, the wise man. And then you got Keep It Usi or whatever he said, you know, or not real Usi.
He doesn't feel very Usi. He's not feeling very Usi.
Yeah, not feeling very Usi. Yeah.
Aaron, I don't care about him, but I will say that if you got him hot later this summer, he would be a good challenger in Saudi Arabia for one of the titles next year. Just because he's so over there and he speaks the language.
Yeah. And they have flirted and gone back and forth with the Saudi thing. Of course, he had his best outing in Montreal against Roman in the February pay-per-view leading up to WrestleMania. Very good job there. But I mean, Sami Zayn is one of these guys, and there is a transition happening. This younger card in the WWE is stacked. The fact Carmelo Hayes wasn't on this card, you couldn't have put him in the ladder match. I mean, really. You know what I'm saying? Carmelo
I don't get it, man.
Fantastic. And look,
you don't know what to do with
thing and make this
you don't know what to do with Carmelo. Come on.
Yeah. But Sami Zayn is old now. And I'm not saying he's actually old. I'm saying at this point, he's been in the company since 2015, 16, 14, whatever it's been. Because as everybody remembers, Kevin Owens' first night on the main card, he beat John Cena for the U.S. title. Right. So the prize fighter. And that was 10 years ago. So that's how long Zayn's been with the company.
Well, Trick Williams is the real deal. He reminds me of I swear he's got some Gino Hernandez in him. He's
Mhm.
that. I love the cockiness. This guy's. I want to see. This guy needs to unseat Cody. I'd like to see him. I mean, I'd like to see him take the U.S. title and vacate it after he beats Cody. Strap a rocket to him. Strap a rocket to Ova on one channel. Strap a rocket to him on the other channel. This man is a star. He's a complete package.
Well,
He's
WWE
a
has
bit Nature Boy. He's a little bit Gino Hernandez.
Yeah, WWE, Dave, has once again found what worked for them for so long, and it is that you have these guys in the ring. They can wrestle, that's fine, but it's world wrestling entertainment. And the charisma and the magnetism that's on the television set. You know, I mean, I know I went on my 5-minute rant, and apparently I'm filled with hatred, according to one of our viewers here, which is fine. Darren, or as I like to call him, Daryl, because his name's not important enough for me to remember.
There we go.
That way, and that's fine. So you got your flowers there, Daryl. I finally responded to you an hour and 30 minutes into the show. But Cody doesn't emit this charisma to me, where you can wear a 50-foot wedding train or whatever it was. I mean, I know it was part of his jacket, but that train was humongous on that outfit.
I believe that he believes everything that he's telling me about how great he is.
And that was what Gino Hernandez did.
Yes.
That's what Ric Flair did.
Yes.
I mean, that's what the best of the best of the best in this business do. Steve Austin said when he'd go out and do promos and talk on the interview once he became Stone Cold, all he was himself with the volume turned up and 10 million people, you know, watching him every Monday night. And that was the deal. If you tap into who you really are, then that's when you are best. And hey, look at Dominic Mysterio. You don't think that Dirty Dom knows how to pull the puppet strings? That was a beautiful transition, Dave. But you said it on your review show. Nobody liked Dominic, but everybody loves Dirty Dom. Not
since Rocky Maivia became The Rock has anybody made it done that as well as Dom has.
Yeah.
Now we knew he was going down to the Demon.
Yeah, and the Demon's lost one time in all of his WWE career. I mean, and he shouldn't have lost then either. They just shouldn't have done it. But yeah, I mean, it was what it was, and you're going to get a continuation of the Finn Balor program as we saw against JD McDonough. But Dom uses his wrestling IQ. He's been around the business for his entire life to his advantage. He trolls people on Twitter and Facebook. He does his thing. He's always with the hot women. I mean, he's got it. And he got it figured out before he's 30 years old. And of course, he's the father, or the son rather, of the godfather of cruiserweight Libre wrestling.
Yeah. Heck, when I look at him, I'm starting to wonder if there's something to that Eddie Guerrero.
There is no doubt and that's another part of the troll. Like, he's just continued it on and on and on, you know.
But I mean, he looks more like Eddie than Ray.
He definitely looks more like Eddie than Ray. I would agree with that.
This was a good match. We knew it was going to go that way, and you know,
my nephew Ross does not like Dirty Dom. He says, "Dirty Dom." He's not a fan.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, before we ever get started, this is a 4-jar match. This is the best wrestling match Jade Cargill has ever had.
Oh, okay. I wasn't for sure what you were going to say.
No, this was the best wrestling match that Jade Cargill has ever had. You can't poke holes in what Jade did the other night. This was a great match.
Yeah, she and Pretty Ricky were putting in the work clearly down there at the training center. For those of you who don't know, Ricky Stark's one of her real life best friends and training partners. And she's probably bigger than he is. Let's be honest.
Oh, I do think, back to Trick, I do think that match was sent home early, though. It felt rushed.
Mm-hmm.
I got the impression that they got the Iggy. They had to go home early. But it still got done when it needed to get done.
Willie, I was talking about the demon in the war paint doesn't lose. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure we ain't seen Finn Balor in the war paint in a long time.
I thought he only
Uh,
lost that one
Wow.
time on TV.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too in WWE. Now, maybe in Japan it was different when he was Prince Devitt, but
yeah.
yeah, I know that you are like a walking encyclopedia of wrestling knowledge. I would dispute your claim there, sir. Anywho, the this match, to your point, Jade's had a few good ones, Dave, but they kept them short.
Right.
This one was a little longer. And here's the thing that you got to love about Jade Cargill, a legitimate D1 athlete who's never been a professional wrestler in her life. She was tasked at your biggest show of the year with wrestling the cornerstone of your wrestling company. You all can talk about Cody. You can talk about CM Punk. I will talk about Roman here shortly, but it's Rhea Ripley's company.
And she looked like $1 million wearing white.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. A very interesting choice. I think she looked fantastic 20 or 30 pounds ago, but apparently there's been some health issues or whatever there. But she's clearly slimmed down.
Yeah. She still looks great though.
Oh no, she looks phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. And I'm not somebody that body shames people or anything for obvious reasons. But it's noticeable on television.
If she was a guy, we would have said she got off the gas.
Yeah,
if
that
she was
she
a
is
guy,
small.
we would have said she got off the gas.
Exactly. But Rhea, to me, is the cornerstone of what you're going to build the future of this company on. Age, experience, name value, marquee ability. And Jade gave her everything she could, but the right person won this match. The right person won this match.
Yeah, I thought the number games could have possibly got to her, but it didn't happen that way. And
I was really looking for Io to turn, seriously, just because of all the hugging and the "I'll miss you," and so many times previous in WWE, they had. I just lost my train of thought. It's fine. Oh no, I got what it was. They telegraph it to where they lead up, they do the huggy kissy, I'm gonna fight for you, blah 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 thing, and then it would have been Iho who would have cost Rhea the match at WrestleMania, and that's truly what I thought. But anyway.
He lost twice in WWE. He lost to Samoa Joe and he lost to Roman Reigns.
So he lost on NXT and he lost on the main roster. Pretty good win-loss record for the man in the battle paint. Let me stipulate again. Man in the battle paint.
And he doesn't like to wear that because he feels like when he shows up, he said this on Cody's podcast, that he shows up as the demon and then it makes it look like that he can't win as Finn Balor, that he has to be the demon. Why can't he win as Finn Balor? So he really doesn't like, that's why he doesn't like to do the demon. But this was a great one. Then we got the main event with two wrestlers that I don't care much for. They probably had the match of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, up to
both
this
of these
point,
guys delivered.
Very good. Very good match.
You want believable? It was believable. They told the story that Punk's body failed him.
Yeah, so I love the way they trolled AEW, though, because that was a finish that got popular when I believe it was Moxley. And Willie, please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was Moxley who took the first go to sleep and he fell right back on his arms. It may have been Hangman, actually. And then he took the second go to sleep. Well, that didn't happen when Roman fell right back in his arms. Shoulders in position for it. And they did the whole exhaustion thing, which is fine. But the wrestling world was righted at the end of the night when you throw the ones up, because Saudi Phil has no business with my man's world championship. Netflix is Roman's show. I don't care what anybody says. Roman is one of 5 generational talents since the WWF days and is in, territory with Bruno and Hogan and Austin and Cena.
Well,
He
I'm
is
okay
the
with
reason-
Roman.
He's the reason TKO owns WWE, and I'll wrap it up here, Dave. For a guy that wrestles part-time, and this is directed at you, sir, Roman Reigns doesn't look like he misses too many steps. He was incredible Sunday night against
Oh, I
Cena.
agree.
Incredible.
I can't think of when I saw a match where he was better. That I was like really impressed with him. Maybe his match against Logan Paul.
Maybe
Saudi?
because he got tested. That was
Yes.
pretty good. Yeah.
That was, and I like this, but I also like that he said, "Hey, they ain't no part time. I'm here for the summer." Now he did point out he was here for the summer,
Yeah.
but and I don't have a problem with him being world champion if he's there. I don't like when you take the title home and I'm not a fan of that. Once every 30 days, even if you're going to troll me, come in and beat a local indie guy. Hey, I'm only here I got to do it once every 30 days. Beat a local indie guy and keep on going.
The champion is contractually obligated
Just to piss me off even more. But I don't think either one of these guys were healing this. I mean, I think that we're kind of getting away from the traditional babyface, traditional heel, and we just got people with attitudes. And I don't know that I hate that. This was, again, I got more believability on night 2. But I'm telling you, WrestleMania 42 is not. After night 1, I said this ain't even the top 35. Now this might be in the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this wasn't the best WrestleMania. But night two stood out. Night 1 was so bad that the commercials were blaringly obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Night 2, I didn't get that way about it.
It was weird. It was almost like I have two completely different feelings about night 1 versus night 2. Like it was like watching something completely
Yeah, I mean, I'm
different.
not
I
sure
don't
that
know
SmackDown
what it
Friday night
is.
wasn't better than night 1.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I very much enjoyed night 2 than I did in night 1. I can't really put my finger on exactly why. I mean, the matches were just better, more realistic. Like you said, same amount of commercials, so that wasn't
Well,
it.
it's almost like, and I mean, it's just a thought. It's almost like a traditional wrestling card where you stack it to the end of the show is where your best shows are, but they have 2 nights, so they go to the second night is where they did it last year and the year before. If you look at the matches, a lot of them were stacked. Now, the matches that featured the women, regardless of what show they were on, were very good in the previous WrestleManias.
Yes.
That's because the women in WWE are better wrestlers than the men. That's a fact. That's a fact. The women's division.
That's kind of a fact in most of the companies. The women
But it could be
try
so much
harder.
more. Could be so much more interesting, is what I'm saying, Dave. If
Yeah.
they would actually acknowledge, no pun intended to Roman, that these women are what people want to see because they actually wrestle.
They get the little things matter. They
Mhm.
get that the little things matter. I want to move it on because I want to play a video for you. I got something really cool coming up this weekend.
Mm.
Let's hear from Ricky Morton.
Hello, everybody. This is Ricky Morton, one half of the Rock and Roll Express. And man, I just want to tell everybody that I am coming to Flowood, Mississippi. Now, Flowood, Mississippi, that's the old Mid-South area. I haven't been there in so many years and looking forward to coming, but this is for a great cause. I'm at Battle Zone Championship Wrestling, and they are going to present Heroes Fight Forever, the night of Gabby Strong Foundation. And I'm looking forward to being there. You guys come out, help us out. We'll be looking forward to seeing everybody. Now, the bell time's at 7 p.m. that night. Get there early. I will be there early, waiting on you. You guys have a great time and can't wait. Remember now, that's April the 25th, Battle Zone Championship Wrestling.
Heroes Fight Forever, a night for the Gabby Strong Foundation. Ricky Morton's going to be there. Cowboy James Storm's going to be there. This is going to be a this is going to be a neat fundraiser. I mean, I get to I get to participate in some really good wrestling that actually is for a cause. But this Gabby Strong Foundation is as a matter of fact, before I go any further telling y'all about it, I want to put this up on the screen. That QR code that's up in the top right covering me up will take you to their website if you want to learn more about them. It's a little girl named Gabby Buford. She would have been 13. She's a 13-year-old angel celebrating eternity with her Lord and Savior. She lost her battle to brain cancer.
Oh.
Their mission statement is, we help children and their families in their cancer battle by providing emotional, spiritual, and financial support. We also help fund research to find a cure for pediatric brain cancer. What else do I got?
Is her family the one who runs the foundation? Is that what you said?
Yeah, and this is what the little girl said before she died.
Oh God. Okay.
She wants to help other kids and families feel loved like me.
Oh.
And so we're coming together at Northwest Rankin Middle School Gym, 5805 Highway 25, Flowood, Mississippi. It's right outside of the capital of Jackson. It's actually really close to the airport. We got DFB, them Frost Boys, the Daybreakers against the Varsity.
Oh.
We're going to have Jesse the Dragonheart versus Rico Wildley. I am so high on Jesse the Dragonheart. We talked about him a couple weeks ago on the show. I've not got to work with Rika, and this is one of those shows that if I'm the only referee, it'll be cool, but I don't think I am. We're going to have a 3-way for the Battle Zone Light Heavyweight Championship. The Battle Zone Light Heavyweight Championship, made by Big Time Belts, by the way.
Yes, we've seen that.
The champion, Sammy Wright, is going to defend against Eric Black and Leo Wright. Eric and Leo were partners before Eric turned on Leo. So this ought to be an interesting 3-way dance.
I'm liking, do I look like I care? I like that shirt. I think there's we could have some people wearing that shirt. I like that. Do I look like I care?
For the Battle Zone Heavyweight Championship, which was also made by Big Time Belts, Michael Parrish, the champion, with Reggie Blackledge in tow, will be defending against the Pharaoh of Funk. That will be a great match. This is a heated rivalry for a while.
Heated rivalry? Hold on. Did you say heated rivalry?
I did say heated rivalry.
Does it involve stupid Canadian wolfbirds?
No.
Dave, I will explain that joke off the air.
All right, I can't wait to hear it. Cowboy James Storm against Cowboy Cliff Rogers. This is going to be a good one. You remember a couple weeks ago, Cliff got that win against Hunter Rhodes in SWA.
Yep.
And then didn't show up for his title match. So we got all this action. Ricky Morton's going to be in the house. Join us at Battle Zone Championship Wrestling, 5805 Highway 25 in Flowood, Mississippi. This is for a great cause. We so desperately need to find it. We need to find a cure. I mean, cancer needs to be cured anyway. But
yeah, 100%.
But it hits harder. It hits a lot harder when it happens to kids.
That's what I'm saying. My dad was a lung cancer survivor, and I can't imagine what it would be like to lose a child. You know?
Yeah, we're talking about a girl at 13 years old. She's gone.
No.
Yeah.
Man.
Nope.
So join us Saturday night, and that's gonna be pretty good.
Because Dave brought the show kind of down, I need to bring us back up because it is what I do. I would like to address a comment in the chats here. Darren Daryl Staley, excuse me, says,
Which one? I'll highlight
Daryl
it.
Stanley says, Andrew made love to my mother and she loved it. I would like to address this comment right here.
Yes.
I'm
going to throw a flag on that.
There are 5 of the 4 billion women on this planet that have a chance of getting me into bed. And one of them, Bianca Belair, is pregnant, and I am not the father. And
congratulations
we don't
to
even have
Bianca Belair for that, by the way.
Yeah, congratulations. We don't have to, but Daryl, I will say this: those are lies. And Mama Daryl has never had the pleasure. So anyway, Dave, I thought we should come back up after, whatever. But I heard this show's sponsored by somebody. Do we sponsor? Are we still sponsored this week? Or
Yeah,
because I'm
we are sponsored by Big Time Belts. Look at you driving the ship.
Hey, you'd think I'd watch this show once or twice.
Big Time Belts, Facebook.com. High quality, low prices. Look at this. This is a concept belt. A guy wanted NWA International Heavyweight Tag Team Champion. He designed these belts when he was a kid.
I remember that.
That's the artwork. That's the picture he sent. He sent that, and he got that. And Big Time Belts can do that for you too. The first wrestling belts I ever designed looked really like ass like that too, and it was made into a beautiful belt. What I'm saying is, if you can just kind of give us an idea what you're looking for, we can do it.
Right. But he was like 10 years old, right? You know what you said? Like the picture.
Here's an Orioles belt. This is Birdland. What do you think about an Orioles belt, Andrew?
Oh, please. The Yankees are in first place in the American League East, just as God intended. Giancarlo Stanton cracked Boston as God intended. That's the king. And Aaron Judge has 9 home runs. Max Fried threw 8 today. I mean, they're coming around, but the bullpen's still shit. And I think I probably dislike Aaron Boone more than Matt Rule, if that's possible. But as for the Orioles, they're a 500 baseball team. That's all they are.
Allison says that you hit on her mom. True story.
No, that was Ricky Morton. She won't talk about me.
Oh,
Allison likes when I relive her mother's question. When I relived her mother's question back in Vegas, and that was, why isn't Andrew wearing pants? So that's what Allison loves, because I am her father's favorite son-in-law.
Oh my God! That was hysterical.
So that's what Allison loves, is when I imitate her mom.
Well,
that was
the
great.
Texas Rangers are in first place in the West, and that's a testament to how bad the West is.
Yeah.
I think that they're like the only team over 500 in the West.
Yeah.
Hey, how about a wedding belt? How about a wedding belt?
How about that?
Not? Weddings are gross. Oh wait, not mine. I'm not getting married. So yeah, all the wedding belts you want.
You and
Barnhart's got
Allison.
one. Look at this. I'm guessing that he must have brought a wiener dog to the marriage, because they got the wiener dog engraved in the leather.
Cute.
And then there's a mermaid over here.
That must be hers. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
I don't get the fascination with mermaids. It's been my experience that you don't want it fishy down there.
Lord.
Look at this 10 pounds of gold. This is a beautiful, beautiful. That looks kind of like the one that Ric Flair and Harley Race had. I mean, he did a great job on the 10 pounds of gold. He can do a great job for you too. Big Time Belts, Facebook.com. Join the group. If you can dream it, we can make it. High quality, low prices. And we want to thank them for sponsoring our pod.
Excellent.
I can't wait for a Daryl and Andrew tag team belts.
We got a couple minutes. Andrew. What do we think about Roman Reigns charging $950 for a photo op?
Roman Reigns has the ability to do so only because he works for the WWE. I believe much
he
of
didn't
that,
set the price, but we know.
Yeah, driven by the company. I'm not paying $1,000 to put my finger in the air, despite the fact Roman Reigns is my wrestling husband. He doesn't know that, but it's true. And yeah, I know.
I paid $300.
You're going to price people out of the market unless you do this in Saudi Arabia, where money isn't a problem, and they just don't care.
Well, 8 years ago, it was $316 because Austin did a $316 package.
Oh, I like that.
But me and my buddy Junior, Wayne, me and Junior, we split the cost on it, and we both got our picture with Stone Cold because I mean, the 100.
I saw it. Yeah. Not acknowledging him. Daryl was not being acknowledged any further by me.
I think I'm dead. Oh,
Dave is dead. Dave is
are
dead.
you gonna make it? Are you gonna make it, Dave?
Yeah. Dave will make it. He'll be fine. It's
All
okay.
right. On that note, we're out of here. Andrew, I
Before
want
we
to
say
thank you
anything
for.
else,
I want to thank you for showing up.
hey,
I
we
wanna
love you
thank you.
guys.
I want to thank you for covering for Amy because she's got. I mean, you were here early. You made sure your shit worked.
That's right. Tested it and everything because
Yeah.
I
I
have been
know.
the culprit on my own
After-
show. And thanks to Dave and Amy, we are on the Markout Moments every Sunday. We are taking the month of April off. Didn't seem right to try to schedule a podcast during WrestleMania when everybody's going to be watching WrestleMania and not us. Not that it really matters. You know, we do this because we love each other and we do it for the fun of the people that join us. We don't do this for money. Terry and I started this podcast. It was his invitation. And in 2 weeks, we put a podcast together almost 4 years ago. And it used to only be football, and it's evolved into football. It's evolved into pop culture, restaurants, trips, wrestling, soccer, baseball, the baseball. Let me be specific.
You're not getting your chicks.
whatever we desire, it happens on that show. And I am much more unfiltered on our show. But I told Dave I would dial it back a little, only because it's your guys' show. But I only want to dial it back a little because I don't want anyone to think I've gone soft. So
I'm glad that you're here with us. I've really enjoyed having you on tonight. I can't thank
I
you enough for
appreciate it.
coming in.
I know.
Uh,
I've missed y'all through this month of
I'm not doing
April
plugs tonight,
being gone.
but you can vote now in the chat of which show is the best on the Markout Moments Network. 1 for Talking Wrestling, 2 for Drunken Pop, 3 for the T&A Top 10, which I do think is the best show on our platform, and I enjoy it, and I'm missing it. And Terry's going to be here. He's going to be with my guest Friday night. Him and Cyrus are coming in for soccer, and they're going to be staying here at the Holiday Inn.
I love it. It's a very nice place. I've been there.
And he's going to have to bring a top 10 list with him.
Yeah. well, we intended to have a bunch of top 10 lists put together. I don't know that we have one yet. Terry can answer that. I will not speak for him, as he is the guy behind the scenes. We do a lot of collaboration together, as do y'all, but Terry is the intellectual driving force behind it. It was his idea. It was his concept. With mine and Allison's help, we've evolved the show. But without Terry, T&A Top 10 wouldn't exist. That's a fact. That's 100% a fact. Because I wouldn't have said yes to just anybody to do a podcast with. And Terry makes sure that we are all in line and whatnot. And then he knows that when I go off the rails on our show, it's just like letting that little dog hump you. It's better to let him finish. Just let him finish. We'll be over soon enough. And then we get back to business. So that's where we're at. But I really do appreciate being on the show. You know, I've been here before, guys. I didn't have my cool setup the last time I was on the show. I think I was on a cell phone and a selfie stick. So
You were.
how we have evolved.
Well, hopefully you'll come back again. You're always welcome.
Yes,
This was a
please
lot of
do.
fun. And maybe next time we won't kill 15 minutes of the show trying to get Amy on board.
If she showed up 15 minutes early, you'd be on time.
I
But
know.
That
as we all
darn job.
know,
I'm working
and I've
on
told
it.
you all this, and I know you're right at the 2
That's
hour
why
mark
your
there.
show is the best on our network. And
When we're on time, you should hear Terry cussing before the show, though, about his internet. Everybody knows if you travel with Amy, that would include Terry, myself, Dave,
That's not
Allison.
nice.
We start moving her 30 minutes early because her ass has got to say goodbye to everybody. I'm going to miss you.
Well, hey.
We're going to dinner, ma'am.
I
We're
got to
going
kill this.
dinner. We
I
will
got to
be
kill
back.
this or I'm not getting clips. See you next week on Talking Rasslin with